am I enough? Are you enough? As a man, as a male, just being the way you are? Well, let's see. Welcome back to The Mailman. My name's Punith, if you've not been here before. The Mailman is a brand focused on just breaking the stigma around male body image issues and the mental health impact it has on males of all ages, all shapes, sizes, however you want to describe yourself. I'm a lifelong sufferer of male body image issues, having gone through my own shit, and still am going through my own problems and insecurities. And the whole channel is just based on my own experiences, which I understand will be different to yours, but it's just kind of voicing it really, because I think there's a lot of us just suffering in silence. I still suffer now. For many years I never really spoke about my own issues, and I just think if I had almost like a place to go where I can just feel better about the things that I've been insecure about, the way I look, then I probably would have just had a few more enjoyable years rather than just having that sort of penny drop moment literally now. So I kind of wish I addressed this a long time ago, and so this is really for the purpose of helping people who are facing those kind of challenges and not really having anywhere to turn to. So if you've not subscribed, please do. Obviously that's the only way this is really going to get pushed out there. Obviously like, comment, let me know your own experiences as you watch the videos. Every video is kind of different about, again, my own experiences and different things I've faced, but generally it's all about insecurities and self-worth and confidence and having that kind of self-belief, which I lacked all of those for many years, and even now I still lack a lot of those qualities, and I'm trying to work and build myself up. So this is really kind of a platform to help you, but also help me, if that makes sense. So are you worth it? Am I worth it? I mean, the quick answer is yes, you are. You shouldn't really even be questioning that, to be honest. I think there's so much comparison going on nowadays in the world, and that could be from social media. You see guys getting attention from girls, or getting attention from guys, if that's your thing, or just getting attention from friends, and it's like they have to look a certain way and then everyone just flocks around them. Or it could be you're at school and all the kind of popular kids are typically the good looking guys. They either have that sort of aura about them that they are kind of well off, or they come from a privileged kind of background. They just look like you want to hang out with them. I definitely wasn't that at school, which is why I kind of flocked to those people, just because I wanted to sort of be part of that group. But I think there's a lot of just general day-to-day comparisons that people make, because as you walk down the street, you can quite easily see someone else and think, oh shit, I wish I looked like him. Or like in the gym, there's always going to be someone who lifts heavier, or is just more athletic in their build or shape, and you just think, I wish I looked like him. So the point is, it's all around us. There's this comparison all around us, and I think what's worse is in certain environments you're almost either directly or indirectly bullied because you don't look like that. And that's something that I'm quite passionate about. This whole kind of social media, the fashion industry, society, almost telling you you can't be overweight, or you need a full head of hair, or you need to be a certain skin color in order to look good in our clothes, or in order to be popular, or have friends, or get the girl, or be successful. That's quite often what social media and all these sort of other channels are kind of aiming. They want you to either kind of buy their product, so you feel like you're one step closer to kind of looking like this stereotypical profile of like an alpha male, or whatever it is. It's like they're using that as a way of selling their business or their service. Or if it's like a personal trainer who's kind of bullying you into losing weight. I know there's lots of personal trainers that don't, and they are genuinely passionate about what they do, and they want to help their clients get healthier and fitter. And quite often the clients are the ones that say, look, I want to lose some weight, or I want to get stronger, I want to get fitter, I want to train for a certain type of competition or an event. And that's fine, that's great. If you're the one doing that, but don't do it because someone is making you feel that you should do that. So yeah, essentially, it's going back to the point. There's a lot of factors almost forcing people to feel like they're not good enough, and quite often that's where the problem stems from. Because if you grew up in an environment where you didn't have that judgment, or you didn't really feel any difference really from looking one way to another, everyone looked different, and that was okay. You understood that you were made to feel enough. Then why would we even question that now? And I think I've got 2 young kids, and at this kind of age, there is absolutely no questioning, am I enough? They just don't know any different. They look unique, just like every other child out there. Everyone looks unique, but they don't feel like they look different, or they feel they need to change their appearance because they don't feel enough. Like, there's none of that. But it suddenly becomes bigger and bigger as you grow up, as you are exposed to more of this pollution, this toxic society, and this is again why a lot of parents are now sort of moving away from giving their kids phones and exposure to social media, because it's not just, oh yeah, I want to give them that kind of exposure to technology and whatever. It's the stuff that's on there, like the content that people are producing, that in this day and age, it is what kids connect with. It's what makes them almost feel like they're living, like they need to have that like, or that follow, or that support, that sort of network. And it's like, if they don't have that, it's like they're not enough, or they need to change something, or they are not popular anymore. And it's like, what world are we living in, that you kind of have to have that following in order to feel like you're enough, or you are valid, or people like you? What happened before all this social media and the phones and the technology? Like, you just went out. If you didn't enjoy hanging out with someone, you just didn't hang out with them. It's simple as that. You just almost had no choice but to find the friends that are your true friends. Simple as that. And the dickheads that aren't your friends, you just moved on from them. But now it's like, I need to have a certain number of followers. I need to have that validation, that random people who don't even know me are liking my pictures, because then I feel enough. And I'm worried about that for my own kids, because you hear some horror stories. Channel 4 did some experiment where they took kids' phones away at school for 30 days or something, and it was almost like these kids were on sort of like withdrawal. Like, it's almost like they were missing a fix, or that drug that is fueling them day by kids on there just saying like, oh, I just need to know like who's liked my pictures today. I just feel a bit crap because I don't know who likes me. Well, you should know, because you're surrounded by friends, and if your friends don't like you and you're relying on just random people from around the world, fucking grow up. What a stupid mentality. But this is this is the world we live in, and this is why it's a bit frustrating, because I can see that coming into play in my life with my children. Like, I just don't want them to go down that route where they're like, I need to have like random people validating me. Getting validation from my parents or my friends, my actual friends around me isn't enough. I need like random people to like and follow me. So as you can see and tell, I'm getting quite flustered and getting quite annoyed by this topic, but that's just because I grew up feeling I wasn't enough without all the social media and all of this other technology being in my life. It wasn't there when I was growing up, but I still felt like I wasn't enough, and that was mostly down to, well, I guess it's there's a part of, I grew up in a very white area. Well, it was white back then. I was like one of 3 Asians out of like 800 kids at my secondary school or high school. Like one of 2 coloured kids in my primary school or elementary school. So there was a lot of other reasons and sort of situations where I felt clearly like I wasn't enough because I wasn't white. That then was enhanced as I got bigger and I got older, but I also got bigger, like size-wise. I got huge. I got to like 18 and a half stone at my peak, and I think I was only like 16, 17 at the time. But I was always big. I was always very like just a big child. So then naturally, the race, colour, skin colour factor combined with just being large played a lot in my upbringing in terms of bullying, the attention I got, the friends that I didn't really have, my confidence, my self-worth, my self-belief, my kind of feeling of I need to look like these white kids in order to be successful, in order to have friends, in order to attract, the girls that they're all hanging out with. That's why I felt like I wasn't enough, and that stayed with me. That just continued, and it's still there today. Like, I still have moments when I'm like, I wish I looked like him, or why I'm running a lot now, and I'm doing a lot more in terms of trying to get my heart healthy. But I was kind of secretly hoping I would lose some weight just for me and just feel better. But I'm like, those little kind of elements of doubt and confidence and self-belief are starting to kick in, and I know it's a journey to kind of get back on track, but hey, this is exactly why I've created this brand and why I put videos out there, because it's by no means am I fixed. I'm still on the journey to recovery myself. I say recovery, I don't think I was ever there. I've just always been like this, so I think it's just a journey of more discovery of what just being content with yourself is, and just being happy and confident. Because feeling like you're not worthy or you're not enough, you can waste a shitload of time. And I'm talking, in my own experience, I've wasted years feeling like I'm not enough, or I'm trying to look a certain way. Years of just covering myself up, just not being my true self. Like, who the fuck goes swimming wearing a t-shirt or like a long sleeve swimming top just because they want to kind of cover their man boobs or their, you know, their stomach fat or love handles. This is shit that I do. It's fucking annoying, but it's like, it's how I only can kind of get around that sort of situation. I can't even think about just whipping my top off and going swimming with the kids or being in that kind of environment. But if I saw loads of other guys, just all shapes and sizes, just not giving a shit because they feel like they're enough and they don't need to look any different or change themselves in order to fit in, I would be straight in there. I'm not even joking. I would be all over that. I'll feel like I belong here. I feel like, well, if these guys are doing it, I can do it. If they feel enough, I am enough. But that's not the world we live in, unfortunately, and that's what I'm trying to change in a way. And I know it sounds all like big man talk, I want to change the world, but don't you think it would just be a nicer place to live? Especially if you're watching this and you've got young kids and you think, you know what, I don't want my kids growing up in a world where they're just constantly comparing themselves to other people and feeling shit about it, or shit about themselves as a result. So yeah, that's my thought about it. Obviously I can't change it myself. I need subscribers, I need followers, I need endorsers, I need like celebrities. I know there's loads of people, celebrities and influencers out there who have gone through similar types of experiences where, you know, they can talk from their own point of view, you know, how they've either built their confidence up or if they've gone through some body image or mental health struggles, how they've overcome that. Because ultimately we're just trying to help each other, right? And if you're not going to listen to me, then let's try and find people who you will listen to and connect with. So yeah, let's try and push this out as much as possible, because this is not ever going to stop unless we actually do something about it. And we try, and it's more for, you know, the younger generation, in my view. That's the generation that still has time, you know, to make those changes and not let these types of insecurities take over the next 15, 20 years of their lives like it's done for me. So yeah, let's see. But no, thanks again for watching. I really appreciate if you have made it this far. I do appreciate you watching, so thank you. But remember to let me know what your own experiences are. Share, comment, like. I don't know how these algorithms and things work, but every other YouTuber says it in order to kind of push their content out there in front of more people. Subscribe to the channel, like, follow, comment, whatever. Just tell people about it. Tell people who you think are suffering to start watching these videos. Because even if I can just help one person, that'll just be enough. One person to not go through the same problems that I went through, that'll be more than not doing anything at all, in my opinion. So feel free to share the name of the channel. I'm on Instagram as well, if anyone wants to message me, the mailman_1. But until next time, you are enough. We are enough, and that's all that matters. We just need to support each other and make ourselves just realise that on a daily basis. Till next time, I've been Punith. You've been watching The Mailman. Don't want to crash. Take it easy.